Hey everyone, so a few months back I did an unboxing of the US Bank Cash Plus credit card, and I am in the process of putting together my review, but I figured I'd put this video out first since this is kind of an extensive topic just on their categories, on how to activate it, and really how to maximize their 5% categories. So in the first part of this video, I'll be just giving you a tutorial on how to activate these categories that are available quarterly. But if you're just here for my strategy and analysis, I'll put the timestamp down below so you can skip to that. But first, a few key points concerning the Cash Rewards program. Just like the Discover and Chase Freedom cards, these categories are quarterly and they need to be activated every quarter. The earnings cap in the 5% categories, you get to pick two of them, is $2,000 per quarter. Then after which you earn 1% back in those categories. There is no such earnings cap for the 2% or of course the 1% categories. And your redemption options do include deposit into a US bank account, so savings, checking, or money market account. You can also redeem it for statement credit directly to the credit card balance or a rewards card. The minimum redemption amount, unfortunately, is $25. And unfortunately, these reward dollars do expire 36 months after which they are earned. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you where you go to activate these categories. Unfortunately, it's not super intuitive because it's kind of still separate from their main website and even separate from their mobile app. I had to call customer service to get this website on where to activate the categories. So once again, the link is here on the screen. You want to go ahead and type that in. And then from there, you want to enter your zip code, the last 4 digits of your card, and your last name to sign in. Afterwards, you should see a landing page, something like this. If you've never activated categories in the past, you just want to choose your categories for this quarter, and you can see the options available for the 5% as well as the 2% categories. Again, 5% you can pick 2, 2% you can pick 1. Once you've picked the ones you want, you go ahead and click activate the categories, and then you can also choose whether or not you want to get an email notification on when to sign up again for the next quarter. Once activated, you'll see it's grayed out, showing that this quarter has been activated. It does state that you need to wait 3 business days afterwards to make sure that's activated, so you want to keep that in mind if you activate it during the quarter. But if you're still more than 5 days out from which the quarter is set to begin, you can still change your categories. You can see here I can go ahead and click into my previously selected categories to change them. So that's how you activate your quarterly categories. And the nice thing about these is in general, they don't change very much from year to year. So you can pretty much bank on having a specific category available to activate for next quarter. And because of that, I can go into my analysis on how to really maximize these categories. So from that same website, you want to go ahead and head over to the merchants link right here to see the available categories for the quarter and then some sample merchants that fall under those categories. So you can see there are a total of 12 5% categories you can choose from, 2 of which you can select. And then the 2% categories, there are 3 options currently, and you can pick one of them. So I'm going to focus mainly on the 5% because that's where you can maximize your big bucks. But for 2%, I would just recommend sticking with the gas and EV charging stations because there are other no annual fee credit cards out there that will earn you more than 2% in grocery stores or restaurants. For grocery stores, for example, the American Express Blue Cash Everyday card, 3% back at grocery stores. And then it also, the Chase Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited cards, they earn 3% back at restaurants. Also, no annual fee cards. There's also plenty of other no annual fee cards that earn at least 3% back at restaurants. Those 2 are just the ones I personally own and they work great. So, highly just recommend sticking with the gas and EV charging stations for your 2% category. For 5%, there are a few of these categories that I would consider steady state ones that you can really bank on every quarter to use if you are not sure about if you're going to spend more in a particular category or not. What I mean is, like, for example, the home utilities category is a really good one because you can cover your electric bill, your gas bill, your water bill, or your waste management bills. And here are a couple classic examples of them. Again, this is not a comprehensive list, but these are some of the big top contenders for this category. So I personally like to use home utilities as one of my 5% categories pretty much every quarter. A few other ones that could be also consistent is, for example, actually cell phone providers. So if you have, you are making monthly payments for a particular cell phone provider, you bought your phone there, or even your internet plan from there. You can see Verizon Wireless, for example, is on here, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, big names here. If you have big bills coming from these folks, this is also a good steady state category to pick. TV, internet, and streaming services. I wouldn't always say this is a big one unless you have something like Dish Network or DirecTV or something like that. That is pretty expensive month to month, but in general, streaming services are not that expensive. So I don't think this is the best category to pick to really maximize your 5% category, unless you really are using these particular providers, I think. Though if you live in the city, I can see ground transportation as also being a big ticket item, because if you are constantly taking the taxi or taking Uber or Lyft or other rideshare program, then yeah, I can totally see this being an option for you. If you don't, drive a lot, you're an urban city dweller. A few of these other ones can be really interesting. In particular, the electronic stores category. You can see Apple's on here, Best Buy's on here. So you can get, if you want to buy a big appliance 1 month, or you want to buy something from Apple 1 month, you can get 5% back from them. And this is even better than the Apple dedicated card that they have, because the Apple card is actually 3% back. So this is actually an underdog in terms of earning high cash back at, say, Apple. Do keep in mind, of course, there is that $2,000 cap per quarter, but if you know you're not spending over that, again, this is a good category to pick. Gym, fitness centers, if you're going to one of those really expensive gym memberships, like Lifetime Fitness or something like that, I can see this possibly being an option for some of you, but I think this kind of is the same thing with streaming services, where if you're going to like Planet Fitness, which is like $20 or something like that a month, it's probably not worth picking a whole category for that. Other categories that I think could be useful would be probably furniture stores. Every once in a while, if you're going to buy a big furniture that quarter, you can pick this one. Or if you are a big sports person and you're constantly buying gear at these places, then sure. And then I guess department stores too. But I feel like most people who are very big on cashback earnings and maximizing cashback probably are pretty frugal and wouldn't usually shop at department stores. Again, an overgeneralization here, but I don't really see this as a very worthy category most of the time. Select clothing stores is kind of weird because you can only pick from these. So if you do specifically shop a lot at these for whatever reason, then yeah, I guess this is very niche and you can pick these. Again, movie theaters is one of those things I don't think you can really maximize. And fast food is definitely one you definitely don't want to pick, because restaurants already cover fast food. So as long as you have a good restaurant cashback earning card, no point in using a whole 5% category just on fast food. So just to recap, constant categories I think that are good to pick are home utilities and cell phone providers. These two for sure. And if you are a constant city dweller who uses rideshare a lot, ground transportation is also a good consistent category, so these three. And then some more niche categories, the electronics and furniture stores are good. I think for maybe every now and then, if you're going to make a big purchase under these particular categories, so these two. Some more lifestyle specific, maybe constant categories would be gym, fitness, and streaming services. Categories I would highly recommend not picking would be fast food and movie theaters. The other ones I didn't quite mention really depends on you, and I think they're not really consistent categories unless your lifestyle really depends on it. So those are the categories I would recommend to maximize your cashback earnings. Once again, definitely subscribe to my channel if you want to see my review on the US Bank Cash Plus credit card when it comes out real soon.